Hey guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show for Friday, February 23rd, 2024. Welcome to another eBay video. Today I'm going to be talking about as my main topic the eBay International Delivery Program and how it will protect you from unfair negative feedback from a bad buyer. And guess what? I have the experience to tell you about it. We'll be discussing that later on because I got to bring some screenshots in to show you exactly what happened and how it all played out. I'm also going to talk about immediate payment or lack thereof, and a little bit more about the update, the eBay winter update that we talked about a couple of days ago. So let's get right into it. For those of you guys who don't know, I am Joe DeMarco, Crazy New York Driver, who's been selling on eBay almost 25 years. And I like to come out here every Friday and talk about the ups and the downs of selling on eBay. I can honestly look you in the face and tell you I'm one of the few channels that will say it like it is. I don't try and sell you my merchandise. I don't ask you for money. I do this just to get the word out and to help you guys be successful sellers. I'm responsible to make my own money. I would never come out here and ask you for yours. All right. I want to talk firstly about cancellations because something weird happened to me on Sunday. I had 2 cancellations within a few hours. That's not the weird part. I've been noticing a lot of posts on Facebook regarding eBay cancellations, and there are 2 camps, 2 distinct camps. Some say, I'm shipping the item no matter what. I don't care what happens. Some are just the opposite. They'll say they'll cancel for any reason, even if it means going to the post office and trying to do a package intercept. Now, needless to say, these are the people that are living in la-la land, all right? There is no way I'm going to the post office and doing a package intercept. I think that's ridiculous, and it shows weakness and a few other things, which I'm not going to mention on camera. But there are times when I will cancel. And guess what happened? 2 of those times happened Sunday for 2 different reasons. Both kind of unusual. The first one was I woke up, I checked my phone, and I saw that a guy had purchased some Cadillac hubcaps from me doing the buy it now. Okay? Shortly thereafter, he had asked to cancel. Shortly thereafter that, he bought a second set of Cadillac hubcaps from me. So I realized what happened. He bought the first set, and then eBay showed him other things I had for sale underneath, and he saw another set that he liked better. So he bought those and wants to cancel the first set. In this particular case, I have no problem canceling. He's still doing business with me, no sweat, no problem. The only thing that's weird is that I don't think he paid for the first set. I didn't see any recording of payment received. He just wanted to cancel the first set. So anyway, I was happy to cancel that because he still did business with me. No harm, no foul. Now, the second one is a little bit more involved and more interesting, so pay attention. A guy does a buy it now on 2 alloy wheel center caps and pays right away. Within 15 seconds, there's the cancellation. Now we know why. We know eBay showed him the same item cheaper from my competition. Okay? Now, I think that's despicable that eBay does that. But for right now, I have to play the hand that I'm dealt, and I have to deal with this cancellation. Since he canceled within 15 seconds, obviously I haven't boxed anything, I haven't printed any shipping labels, so I'm going to cancel. But not so fast. Everybody is responsible for their actions, and I do believe that he needs to be schooled on the proper reasons for cancellations, when you should and shouldn't do it. So what I do is I make them wait a little bit. And there's a method to my madness. Think about it. The average person, if they see the same item cheaper, a lot cheaper, I would imagine. I mean, it was only a $30 sale. The average person would probably wait until the cancellation is approved before initiating the second purchase. So I decided to tie him up for a little bit. eBay gives us, I think, 3 or 4 days to approve the cancellation. I wait anywhere from 1 to 3 days, depending on circumstances. In this case, I waited a full 48 hours, 2 days, to approve the cancellation. Now, that's not the whole story. On a hunch, I decided to go to this buyer's feedback and look at the feedback he left for sellers. What do you think I saw? A bunch of negatives. But guess why? I'm going to paraphrase this one negative that comes to mind. I purchased this item, and 5 minutes later, I contacted this seller and tried to cancel. However, the seller told me it was too late to cancel and shipped the item anyway. This was on a Sunday, so I know he was lying. 2 problems here. Number 1, this shows this buyer has a history of cancellations. I wonder how many times he canceled. The sellers agreed to cancel, so he never left them negative feedback. I'm willing to bet it was a lot. But moreover, I think this buyer is violating eBay rules, because when you buy something on eBay or place a bid, you're agreeing to a binding contract. Now, since he wanted to cancel and get out of it, in my opinion, he doesn't have the right to leave this guy negative feedback saying the seller wouldn't cancel because the buyer agreed to the terms and conditions and to entering a binding contract. Of course, eBay will never enforce that. Never will they enforce that. But what do you guys think about my logic? Do you agree or do you disagree? You know what to do if you want to be heard. Now, a little bit more about what I talked about the other day when I made the video about the winter seller update. I told you guys there was some good news that eBay is going to start requiring immediate payment on SIO, which is seller initiated offers. Oh my God, this is so long in coming, literally years. I don't know what it takes to bring this change about, but I think it's great. The change has not yet been brought about. They're saying it's not going to start for at least 3 weeks. But I want to caution you. I want to warn you right now. Don't count your chickens before they're hatched. You know about the fact that when buyers now click Buy It Now, eBay almost always shows you a message that says, if you accept this buyer's offer, you will be paid immediately. I have told you time and time again for months how that is not true. I'm getting many buyers where I'm told I'll be paid immediately if I accept their offer, and I do accept their offer usually if it's reasonable, and either it takes hours, which I don't mind, days, and in some cases I'm still not being paid at all. I showed you one of these last week. I got something to show you now that's going to blow your mind. I'm going to ask this question while I look for this. How many unpaid items do I have right now? Right this minute. Okay? Anybody want to take a guess? 1? You're way off. 2? Try again. 3? 8. Now, let me clarify that, because it may not be quite as bad as it seems, although it's really bad. As I told you in previous videos, I deal with a lot of exporters, people who buy my stuff and send it over to South America and mark the prices way up, which is fine with me. These accounts always tell me I'm going to be paid immediately, and I am never, ever paid immediately. I can tell you ahead of time the accounts that are never going to pay immediately, and I don't know why eBay doesn't fix this. I'm not sure. I mean, I ship to a local address here in the States. I'm not sure if maybe the account is based overseas, but even if it is, why am I being told I'm going to be paid immediately? The exporters take anywhere from 1 to 4 days to pay. Lately, it's been on the longer end. It's been going 3 or 4 days. But right now, I have 8 items that have not been paid for. Where else but on eBay? And my stuff's off the shelf. All those 8 items are off the shelf. And there's not a thing I can do about it. So that's why I'm warning you. With the seller-initiated offers, tread lightly. Let's see if it's rolled out correctly, because immediate payment is still not working. Now I'm going to segue to eBay International Delivery Program and how it saved me. As a rule, I have no problems experienced with eBay International Delivery Program. I will ship the item to the hub in Illinois, and from there it will be shipped to the buyer's country of residence. I'm going to now convert to some screenshots. I'm going to show you what happened, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it. Okay guys, please pay attention to your screen. As any of you hardcore eBay sellers know, most of the time you have a pretty good idea of the last 2 numbers of your feedback. So let's say your feedback happens to be 9,550. And later in the day, you see it's 9,549. Well, you got a pretty good idea you got a problem. So that's what happened to me the other day. I noticed my feedback was 1 lower than when I had checked an hour or 2 earlier. So I checked my feedback, and here's what I saw. Negative. Have not received item. You can see that the buyer has 0 feedback, and he joined eBay specifically to buy this item, but what you can see is he lives overseas. So the first thing I did was I decided to track the package. You can clearly see here I shipped it on time. It made it to the shipping hub in Illinois. They then shipped it to the buyer, but there was a problem with the buyer's address. Maybe he gave them a faulty address or a partial address, in which case, obviously it's not my fault, and the item will be returned to the eBay shipping hub. Okay? Next thing, I get this from eBay, telling me that the buyer opened a case. They say, we want to let you know that your buyer opened a request because they haven't received their item. We see that the item has reached our shipping hub and it's on its way to the buyer. We got it from here. There's nothing you need to do. We'll take care of delivery, resolve any further issues, and inform you when the request is closed. Now, I am sure, 100% sure, it would be a slam dunk for me to get this negative feedback removed. But I wasn't sure if they would automatically do it like they sort of imply here, or if I had to file the online form. So what I did was I filed the online form and explained my situation. I think it took maybe 6 minutes before the feedback was gone. But they never made it clear whether it was removed because of the online form or because of the seller protections when you have a problem with an overseas buyer, especially a bad joker like this with zero feedback who gives an incorrect address. I think it's pretty sad that he had to leave me negative feedback for something that wasn't my fault. I have no problem with him opening a case because he has to do that to get his money back. But the negative feedback is unwarranted and uncalled for, and like I've said to you guys for the last 2 years, I've never seen so many negative feedbacks on eBay as I have the last 2 years. Let's get back to the video now. Now, as you can see, the buyer who was overseas provided either an incorrect or incomplete address. That's on him, it's not on me. I can understand him opening a case or a request because he didn't get his item. Even though it's his fault, I don't have a problem with him opening the request. I do have a problem with him leaving me negative feedback. I did nothing wrong. This is a perfect example of something you guys know so well, how one scumbag with zero feedback can ruin the perfect track record of a 24 or 25-year eBayer. It's true. You know it's true. I really think eBay needs to sanction bad buyers who will leave unfair negative feedback, but they won't. I've been reading a lot of comments in the Facebook groups where buyers are complaining that they want to be able to start leaving negative feedback for bad buyers. Many of them claim to already be doing this using what's called reverse positive feedback, leaving them a green dot with a negative comment. As you probably know, that's technically against eBay rules, all right? Now, I would love to leave negative feedback for bad buyers, but I do understand why eBay won't let us, because there were some sellers, a few of them, but there were some that abused the privilege. I will not sugarcoat that or lie about it. I saw it myself. A happy medium would be for eBay itself to leave bad feedback or a red dot for every buyer that either A, does not pay. That should be an automatic red dot. And don't you dare tell me you think it shouldn't be. Of course, eBay would never do that. They don't want to scare away a buyer. But these people aren't buyers. That's what they don't seem to understand. If they do it once, they're going to keep going back to the well and doing it again. It's like the schoolyard bully who tries to rob your lunch money. If you give in on Monday, he'll be right there Tuesday. Gimme, gimme, gimme. You have to face the problem. The only thing a bully respects is a bigger bully. People who don't pay should be sanctioned. People who leave unfair negative feedback, like the clown I just showed you, on the very first offense, he should get a warning, a reprimand from eBay. Hey, you abused the feedback system. This is your only warning. If you do it again, you lose feedback privileges, period. Spare the rod and spoil the child. It is against the law in today's society for corporal punishment. In the 70s, corporal punishment was very, very legal, both at home and in school. And you're talking to somebody who knows these things firsthand, all right? I think I turned out okay as far as a businessman goes. I'm strict, but I'm fair. I have a good track record on eBay, and I ship my items the next day and in some cases the same day. Speaking of that, I notice more often than not when I ship an item the same day, the very next day, or maybe 2 days later, the buyer will contact me and say, listen, I want to change my address. The address I gave you is wrong. Not happening. It's well on its way to wherever it's going, my friend. I just had one of them this week, too. In the video I made the other night regarding the eBay winter seller update, I told you guys about the 10-cent fee increase per transaction on eBay. I stated that I really wasn't going to worry too much about 10 cents per transaction. Some of you guys agreed with me, but there was a few of you guys that were very, very vocal against it. Now, I guess it all depends on your profit margin. If you're operating on a decent profit margin, you probably won't miss 10 cents per transaction. And somebody mentioned, well, Joe, suppose you do a lot of transactions. You do 2,000. Look how much it's going to amount to. But if you're doing 2,000 transactions, I would hope you're operating on a decent profit margin, in which case, okay, you're spending 10 cents per item, but you're also making a lot of money, all right? I do notice quite a few people on eBay selling things dirt cheap, and it mystifies me. It mystifies me when you're going to sell something for $6 and $7. That's below the minimum wage, for Christ's sake. Your time's worth more than that. What I try and do is when I do have $6 items, I get a few of them and I group them together in a lot. Let's say I have maybe 6 of them, and then maybe I'll list them for $25 for the whole lot of 6. I mean, $25 at least is something. $6, not so much. So I really think that those of you guys working on a decent profit margin should not be concerned about the 10-cent increase. But like I said, there are 2 aspects of it that do concern me. Number one, although eBay has fee increases on its end like we do, I honestly feel that the tariff, or fine, should I say, that was levied against them for several $1 million for stalking Ina Steiner and her husband is part of it, plus the civil liability, which is going to be many millions of dollars to Ina and her husband. And we, as I always told you guys, we are the end. eBay's the means to an end, we are the end. In the end, the money's going to come from us, the sellers, okay? I've been saying that forever. I think most of you guys agree with that much. And the second thing that mystified me is they announced that the fee increase is going to start March 15th. Now, I have a question. Shut up and listen. How is it that eBay can come up with a firm date, March 15th, 3 weeks, they're going to raise the fees 10 cents per transaction? But they're a lot less clear on when the immediate payment for seller-initiated offers is going to take place. They said they're going to start rolling it out in maybe 3 weeks. What's with this double standard all the time? Why? I'm not a code slinger. I don't claim to be. I'm not even a script kiddie. I'm one step below a script kiddie, okay? Why is it taking so long? That's where the concentration should be put, because immediate payment is going to help not only you and me, but it's also going to help eBay. A lot less deadbeat bidders means more money for eBay. Now, I have been hearing some complaints in the Facebook groups about buyers complaining they were charged immediately. I don't know how these people are so stupid. Is it that they can't read? They think by clicking buy it now, they don't have to pay, but they're getting a rude awakening that they do have to pay. The word is getting out there. And it's also common knowledge that eBay is the last e-commerce platform to implement this. They were very late to the party on this, but hopefully it will all get straightened out. Immediate payment is still not straightened out, and I've just offered you conclusive proof once again on the 23rd of February 2024. So we'll see what happens with seller-initiated offers in the weeks and months to come. Hopefully they'll get that right. Guys, I'm Crazy New York Driver and you're not. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you make a ton of money this week on eBay. I hope you found my video helpful. Please comment, questions, comments, concerns below. Rock on and peace.